Hello, Mellophiles. Welcome to Hari Music Zone. I am Harishankar Subramaniam. Today, I would like to analyze a beautiful composition by Maestro A.R. Rahman, which I would like to refer to as the Peace Anthem. I am talking about the song Vellai Pookal from the 2002 Maniratnam masterpiece Kannathil Muthamittal. The song Vellai Pookal is like an ode to peace. The song starts with a soothing strum of the E major chord. Then enters with a melody, something that seems to be a plucked instrument. We shall divide this melodic passage into two parts. Part 1 and Part 2. The reason for this division is that these two parts form a musical dialogue. Now, in both these parts, there is a common phrase. Let us call this common phrase phrase A. In part 1, the common phrase A is followed by this phrase, which we shall call phrase B. In part 2, the common phrase A is followed by this phrase, which we shall call phrase C. So the structure of the whole melodic passage is A B A C. The entire song is written in E major. To be more precise, the entire song is based on the ragam Hamsadhwani. Sa ri ga pa ni sa ni pa ga re sa. This is how the scale of Hamsadhwani goes. This is one of the reasons why the mood of the song is so pleasant, serene, and hopeful. I think the composer's choice was deliberate. Now in phrase C, two new notes which does not belong to the ragam Hamsadhwani are introduced, and they add more color to the melody. These notes are Dhaivadam and Manthimam, or in this case, C sharp and A. Please don't get freaked out by the names, they are just names given to sounds. If you listen to the entire prelude, I think you will be able to experience the effect of the introduction of C sharp and A into the melody. Besides the introduction of two new notes, ARR does another interesting thing in phrase C. In every phrase, the notes are on beat except in phrase C. Sa pa ni sa re pa ga. This is the phrase A. Sa ni pa re sa ni pa. This is phrase B. Again on beat. Again phrase A repeats. Sa pa ni sa re pa ga. Now phrase C. Da ma pa re ni. But here it is a bit tricky. The notes come before the beat. That is what makes it a bit tricky. It would have been easier if it was da ma pa re ni. Instead it is da ma pa re ni. So the notes come before the beat. Beats come after the note. Like I said in the Maro Maro analysis video, ARR brilliantly breaks the rule here too by placing the notes offbeat. An unexpected break in pattern always makes the melody more engaging and interesting. The offbeat notes does not seem weird at all. This is because ARR observes the musical etiquette that is relevant to the mood of the song.
வெள்ளை பூக்கள் உலகம் எங்கும் மலரவே விடியும் பூமி அமைதிக்காக விழிகவே மண்மேல் மஞ்சள் வெளிச்சம் விழுகவே மலரே சோம்பல் முறித்து இழுகவே குழந்தை விழி கட்டுமே தாயின் கதகதப்பில் உலகம் விடியட்டுமே பிள்ளையின் சிறு முதல் சிரிப்பு.
A perfect opening that unfolds like a cool, gentle breeze. Two of the main ingredients that contribute to this are Rahman Sar's voice and an adequate amount of reverb. The Pallavi is repeated again with a very subtle vocal harmony.
வெள்ளை பூக்கள் உலகம் எங்கும் மலரவே விடியும் பூமி அமைதிக்காக விடியவே.
So here, one voice goes like this. வெள்ளை பூக்கள் உலகம் எங்கும். The other simultaneously goes like this. வெள்ளை பூக்கள் உலகம் எங்கும். So these two melodies together gives this effect. And not to mention the bass line, how serene.
மண்மேல் மஞ்சள் வெளிச்சம் விழுகவே மலரே சோம்பல் முறித்து எழுகவே.
Before the first charanam, the prelude itself is used as the interlude with a drum fill at the end. One would hardly notice the drum fill on a casual listening. He manages to give the first charanam a majestic launch with this drum fill, and at the same time he keeps it low key.
காற்றின் பேரிசையும் மழை பாடும் பாடல்களும் ஒரு மௌனம் போல் இன்பம் தருமோ. கோடி கீர்த்தனமும் கவி கார்த்த வார்த்தைகளும் துளி கண்ணீர் போல் அர்த்தம் தருமோ. வெள்ளை பூக்கள்.
I literally cried at the line கோடி கீர்த்தனையும் கவி கோர்த்த வார்த்தைகளும் துளி கண்ணீர் போல் அர்த்தம் தருமோ. Genuflect to Kavi Perarasu Vairamuthu. A work of art is the product of self-contemplation, but tears, on the other hand, are organic. Tears are not deliberate. Tears come out only when you lose yourself, only when you are humbled. What Vairamuthu sir conveys here is that no matter how sublime it is, no work of art can convey the meaning of a teardrop. You can see how brilliantly ARR has portrayed this concept musically. See how humble it is.
துளி கண்ணீர் போல் அர்த்தம் தருமோ.
There is a beautiful flute interlude before the second charanam. Though it is simple, it is rich with the bass and the strings that back the flute. ARR uses strings like the waves that caress the beach. I don't know how else to put it. Vairamuthu sir's poetry and Rahman sir's music have an uncanny bond that takes the listener to unknown terrains of inexplicable emotions.
எங்கு சிறு குழந்தை தன் கைகள் நீட்டிடுமோ அங்கு தோன்றாயோ கொள்ளை நிலவே எங்கு மனித இனம் போரோய்ந்து சாய்ந்திடுமோ அங்கு கூவாயோ வெள்ளை குயிலே வெள்ளை பூக்கள் உலகம் எங்கும்.
Did you notice the end part of this charanam? Kuyile. He doesn't stop there. Kuyile. Kuyile ascends to higher pitch, like the high pitched singing of a cuckoo. Raman sir has used the same technique in the song Sutrum Vizhi Sudarthan Kannamma. In the line Kolakkuil Osai, and I have mentioned it in the Sutrum Vizhi Sudarthan analysis video. You can check it out. In addition to this, there is also a replica of a cuckoo's call on the flute. Let us listen to that part again.
குயிலே
So, we have heard these kind of cuckoo calls or bird calls in the morning and all. So, it is exactly like that. It's totally brilliant. It's pure Rahman magic. One song that comes to my mind while thinking of Vellai Pookal is John Lennon's Imagine. Though A.R. Rahman's and John Lennon's voices are totally different, one could see that their singing and the composition share the same spirit. Our emperor of poets, Sri Vairamuthu, asks the white cuckoo, "Won't you coo there, where the human race gives up war and learns to live in peace and harmony?" While the great John Lennon says, "Imagine there is no countries. It isn't hard to do, nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace." When Maestro A.R. Rahman sings Vellai Kuyile, as I mentioned just before, Vellai Kuyile, he goes to the next octave. Similarly, John Lennon also goes to the next octave. Living in peace, you.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You.
Also, there is the song Over the Rainbow, sung by Judy Garland. And there is Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World, which is about looking at life with gratitude and contentment. Though these songs are not as close to Vellai Pookal as John Lennon's Imagine, there is a spirit of hope, kindness, and compassion that these songs share. As I always say, Sri A.R. Rahman's compositions may seem deceptively simple and effortless, but if you take a second or a third look, you will know that a lot of thought goes into every single note and sound he chooses. Also, A.R. Rahman tries to show complete justice to every syllable written by Sri Vairamuthu sir in this song.